JIGL writing practice series, a structured approach to answer your writing for your CS exam. So for this, I'm going to share questions in Telegram channel. You can join that. It's dedicatedly for CS executive only, and there'll be no evaluation. If you want all this sort of things, you have to join the paid mentorship. Without wasting time, I'll want to move ahead and discuss the questions for the first chapter. So today I'm going to discuss the questions of first chapter. Before that, I'll give a overview of what institute has been asking in last 3 attempts. Okay, so institute has asked 5 questions from this particular chapter in last 5 attempts, sorry, in last 3 attempts, and we are going to discuss all those 5 questions, and I'm hoping that you have already attempted this question. Here you are just going to learn what mistakes you're doing and how you can improve them, okay, and other learning tips and training tips. Okay, so let's begin. The first question that institute has asked is about the judicial precedent, and uh, the second question is also based on this, but that is a case law based question. Okay, so first we'll go ahead with this question. uh, since the institute has asked kinds, so they have just explained that here, but I'll first discuss what is actually judicial precedence. So judicial precedence means the guidance or authority of past decisions of the courts for future cases where we don't have any law, maybe. Okay, so only such decisions which lay down some new rules or principles are called judicial precedents. Okay, so let's see how many kinds of judicial precedents are there. So there are 4 judicial precedents. The first one is declaratory and original precedents. Declaratory precedents are basically existing laws which already was there, and the law is establishing, or the court is establishing an application. Okay, how to use that law. It's that is called declaratory precedence. When we come to original, there is no law to it. Actually, courts are establishing a rule which will maybe in future become a law. An example for this can be, there are laws which were not there. Maybe I can take a labor law maybe was not there, or you can say bonus act was not there. So until bonus act came into application or passed by the parliaments, what we used to do, we used to use judicial precedents, which were called original precedents. I hope this clear your concept. Second one is conditionally authoritative precedent. Okay, so what does considered conditionally authoritative precedents mean? It is generally binding. It's not compulsorily that they have to do, but it is generally binding. What courts can do in this regard, that in particular case that a particular precedent might not be applicable, in that case it can be disregarded as incorrect or unreasonable for a particular case. Okay, then we move to next precedent, that is persuasive precedent. This actually means that it is not at all binding. It's up to the court. If they want, they can take a reference of it, or if they think that it's not binding on their particular case, they can just ignore it. Okay, so these are persuasive precedents. Last and the fourth one is absolute precedents. These are actually binding on all lower courts. They don't have any say on this. It is passed by Supreme Court. So whatever precedent Supreme Court has passed and is treated as absolutely authoritative precedent, the other session courts or other lower courts have to follow that precedent. In no case they can refuse. So as I said, the second question is based on precedent. That's why I went ahead and explained this so much. So let's see what is the next question. So next question is basically, I like to read the question so you understand how you are writing wrong answers in exam just because you are not reading the question correctly. Okay, so see here they are saying the modern law has two kind of sources, primary and secondary, but again they are saying judicial precedents are considered as primary source of Indian law. Okay, what do you mean by judicial precedent? So your first question they are asking, you have to explain judicial precedents, which we have already discussed in the first question. Okay, then they are asking you to determine what kind of precedent are these 2 points. Okay, so first point is Vishaka guidelines were stipulated by the Supreme Court of India. In some case, maybe it was Vishaka and other versus state of Rajasthan case, which was decided in 1997. They set some guidelines because there was no such law on that particular subject matter. So those guidelines were followed by other courts till 2017 until POSCO Act came in existence. So what kind of precedent do you think it is in the last four precedent that we discussed? I'll give you 5 seconds to decide and we'll reveal the answer. Okay, so as I already told you that original precedents are the precedents which are set as new legal rules which will be followed or which will be used in future. Okay, so this will be original precedent. Now the next one, the decision of one high court may not be binding on another high court, but the decision can give a principle which may be helpful for the other high court. The original high court may or may not follow the principle of this decision. So what kind of precedent is this? You can take 5 seconds. Out of the four precedents that we read, this is the persuasive, where the thing is not binding. It's up to the courts to take a reference. Here is the answer for your reference. Here, first they have explained judicial precedent, and then they have written the answer on the basis. Okay, since this is a case law based answer, what I would like to tell you is, before writing the answer, first explain original precedent here, that in the given situation it is original precedent. You will write what is original precedent, and then you will give the reference of the case, that in this Vishaka guidelines case this will apply, and that is the reason it is called original precedent. Okay, that is how you are supposed to write case based answer. You will first explain the provision, and then with reference to the case you will write your answer. Third question is very simple. I'm not going to explain it, but I'm going to give you a mnemonic for this, and I'll tell you why I keep saying mnemonics. So basically what happens in exam, that when these pointers kind of questions are asked, you guys, what you do is you write 4 or 5 points. Okay, so what you need to do is, in exam you need to write all the 8 points. Maybe the internal matter you can write in your own words, but at least the headings you have to remember. So for that I have given you a simple mnemonic code which is based on Indian mindset. Okay, so what they have given you, custom is which is followed, right? In literal meaning, in normal meaning. So what is a custom in Indian mindset? That a rupee come consistently, right? Rupee should come, पैसे बराबरी आते रहने चाहिए, रुकना नहीं चाहिए, right? That is the context I have framed. So this is how you relate your mnemonic with your topic, and you remember is custom है तो इंडिया का कस्टम क्या है? अरे पैसे आन दो, ठीक है, रुपी shall come consistently. So rupee ka R is reasonableness, U is unanimity of opinion, like that I have framed. And then P, I'll explain just one for you. P is peaceable enjoyment. I is again immemorial. Then it's conformity with the C is certainty, O is observance, M is morality, consistency is already there, right? So this way we can frame our mnemonic. Okay, I'll just share one more mnemonic with you about the next question. This question is about Jerry Bentham. Okay, here we are talking about the 8 different aspects. I will uh, answer 2 aspects in this question. First, this question they have given a little lengthy answer according to my aspect. Okay, so instead of, there are 8 points, right? Instead of skipping 4 2 3 points, make sure that you write all the points, but what you can do is you can summarize this. ये इतना बड़ा है, right? You can write 1 or 2 line and make sure that you write all 8 points. Okay, and this, all these things you can change it in your own language. I have given a mnemonic for this as well. Sees far object, ठीक है? बेंथम के लिए बोला क्या है? And basically means he is saying that law is governed by two things, pain and pleasure, right? Pleasure is basically about happiness, individual and collective. So set some rules or laws which focus more on societal happiness instead of being selfish and focusing on your own happiness, right? So iska mnemonic I have framed sees far object. Why I have mentioned this? If you think of a broader happiness, you will see far, right? That way I have connected and framed a mnemonic. C's S for sources, e e for extent. There is another e here, expression. Then S, you can say subject. Then far, it's force. Like this you can remember these things with mnemonic. Okay. Last but not the least, our fifth question, which is Kelson theory question, but they haven't asked this question directly. Why I have kept this question in the last? Because these are the questions where you guys are not able to connect what they are actually trying to ask. Why this happens is because these questions are framed by picking any particular line from the module. And when we are studying from a selective area, and or from you can say from marked up lines, or from we are skipping certain lines, right? In that scenario we face a situation where we don't know, okay, how to answer this and what even they are asking. Okay, so in that sense, first try to figure out which chapter they have asked this question. Secondly, try to recollect how many topics were there. In that way you'll be able to connect and figure out what they are asking. So in this question, what they are asking is, in India, the law is passed by different stages, right? First, it's parliament, then it's president, like that, lower parliament, and like that, or receiving the assent of the president. So, how, which rule or which theory of law determines this thing? So, if you recollect, Kelson's theory of law is actually based on this segment. How Kelson theory is determined in three aspects or three norms. First is grand norms, which actually the highest norm that gives authority to all other laws. Like in India, constitution से सब कुछ derive होता है. Second is superior norms, where parliament makes the laws, right? Parliament makes SEBI Act. Then comes subordinate norms like rules and regulations. Once SEBI Act was formed, SEBI kept making regulations like LODR, ICDR. All these regulations come from subordinate norms. So in this way, what you can do is try to connect and recollect key which answer would be there. So I hope this session will help you. If you found this session or this video informative and good, then please do comment below, and make sure you share your views how we can make this series better. Because why I'm doing this is to make sure that you all get as much as advantage possible from the series. You all learn how to write instead of just learning the questions which have already been asked. I want you to learn and discover ways of answering questions that have never been asked, so you can attempt 100% paper. Okay, and do share this with others also. Okay, so we will meet tomorrow for second chapter, and hope you guys will use this opportunity